Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is Marco Bersani from the Bersani Law Firm and Partners from Italy, an Italian law firm specialized on Italian dual citizenship application and Italian visas applications. So welcome back. Today we want to share with you the frequently asked questions about the process, because we understand there are a lot of confusion about the process, how to file the application, how to apply, the requirements, the document, the processing time, anything that is related to the application process. So without losing time to go on Google and find the right answer, to read a lot of different websites with different information, it's way more easy for you to list all the questions here. So in one video you will find all the questions, and we are sure, as said, that you will find the same question that you were asking to yourself here in this video. So watch the entire video and we will cover all the common doubts and the common question for what pertains the Italian dual citizenship by descent or by marriage application. So let's start. So let's start with Diana from Boston. How do I apply for Italian dual citizenship in the US? Well, it really depends on what application you want to file. If we are talking about the application for Italian dual citizenship by marriage, what you have to do is collect your document, the right document, and then you can file the application through the immigration website, the immigration portal of the Italian Ministry of Internal Affairs. The process, so the pre-application is entirely online. It doesn't depend if you are in the US or in Italy or in another country, so the application process is the same for everybody. Differently, if you are applying for Italian dual citizenship by descent, well, in the US you can apply in different ways. If you are resident there in the US, you should apply through the local Italian consulate. This is the ordinary case, the so-called administrative case. Differently, if you will be resident in Italy, you can file through the Italian municipality. Pay attention that if you are in the United States right now, you can apply in another way, so not through the Italian consulate, but in case you are facing the issues that you are not able to book your appointment at the Italian consulate, at your local Italian consulate, then you can file your application through an Italian immigration court because of lack of appointment. We recently talked about it in this video that here this is the link if you want to watch it, because it's really interesting. Today this is a really common question for all the United States, so for all states. It doesn't depend if you are a resident in Los Angeles, California, or in Florida, in New York State, and other states. Everybody are facing the same issues. So the lack of appointments, it's impossible to apply through the Italian consulate. You can also apply, if you are from the US, through an Italian court. That is actually in some ways a comfortable process, because you have not to come in Italy. You can just sign a power of attorney to an immigration attorney. We provide these services, of course, so we can assist you, we can represent you through the entire process, so you have not to move from the US. Another question, so Jennifer from Pennsylvania asked to us, do I have to pay taxes in Italy if I become a dual Italian citizen? Well, no, you don't have to pay taxes. Italian citizenship is not like the American citizenship, so you have not to file your tax declaration and pay taxes there just because you are a citizen. If you are Italian dual citizen, you will continue to pay your taxes in the US, in your home country, if you are a resident in your home country. Differently, if you come in Italy being a resident in Italy and you will stay in Italy for more than 180 days in 1 year, then you will be considered Italian tax resident, so you have to pay taxes in Italy. It's not a problem for Italy and the US, because actually both countries has an international agreement for avoiding double taxation, so it's not a problem if you have business in the US and in Italy for managing the taxation. But for the fact that you are an Italian citizen, you have not to pay taxes automatically. Then we have Joanne from DC. Joanne asks to us, what is the Italian citizenship 1948 rule? Is that the same thing as the 1948 case of Italian citizenship? Well, yes, it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same, the different name for talking about the same process, the so-called Italian citizenship 1948 case. What is the 1948? We have a 1948 case when in your Italian heritage, there's a woman that had her child born before 1948. This is a particular case because technically you cannot file this case through an Italian consulate, but you need, it's mandatory to file the case through an Italian immigration court. So you need an attorney, you need to sign a power of attorney and file through an attorney. What is the legal basis? What changed? Well, it changed that the Italian constitution was made in 1948. So before that year, it was not recognized that for women to pass Italian citizenship to their child. Technically, if you file through the consulate just apply the law. So they will say to you, no, I mean, the woman and the child, I mean, the child was born before the Italian constitution, so I mean by the law you have just to apply the law. By the law, I mean the law doesn't exist, so I mean for example your grandmother cannot pass to your father Italian citizenship by descent. The 1948 cases are now considered case law, so the application is pretty straightforward and is pretty secure. Of course, nobody can guarantee you 100% success, so the process doesn't change because the documentation will be the same, just you change which authority that will evaluate your case, so an Italian judge. Then we have Ryan from Massachusetts asking where to apply for Italian dual citizenship by descent if I have a 1948 case. Well, we replied to that, so you need to file through an Italian immigration court, so you need to sign a power of attorney to an Italian attorney like us, so you can contact us. If you have a 1948 case, we can do a free eligibility check of your family tree, and then we can, of course, assist you on a time process. John from New York City asking, can I get Italian citizenship by investment? Yes and no. There is no, actually not yet, specific roadway, straightforward roadway for getting Italian citizenship through an investment. So the fact that you can make an investment doesn't mean that you, can get immediately an Italian citizenship. You can get Italian citizenship by investment through the naturalization process. So you can come here with an investor visa, so get a residency by investment, a right of residency because of your investment in Italy, and then you will be a resident, so you can then, after 10 years, be naturalized, so apply for Italian citizenship by residency, by naturalization. Then Daniel from San Francisco, can I apply in Italy if I cannot book an appointment at the Italian consulate? How to apply for Italian dual citizenship by descent if the consulate has 5 years of wait time for just the appointment date? Well, this is a good question. You can file your case because of a lack of appointment through an Italian immigration court. We will leave you here, above me, a link to another video that we did about the argument. So if you are facing lack of appointments or long wait time for more than 2 years for only appointment at the Italian consulate, you can file and you can get your Italian dual citizenship by descent through an Italian court, because the Italian law requires the consulate to process your case in maximum 2 years, and the fact that the consulate is blocking you to present your application is a violation of your rights of claiming Italian dual citizenship by descent. Then we have Joseph from Colorado. Can I get Italian citizenship by descent through my grandparents if my parents renews Italian citizenship before my birth? No, you cannot. Well, this is a common misconception, and we really don't know why there is this common misconception. So, what is really important, so keep in mind this is really important, is the fundamentals of the application for Italian dual citizenship by descent. For being eligible, you need Italian heritage, of course, and the Italian heritage, the Italian bloodline must be unbroken. So for example, if you have Italian grandparents, if your father was born in Italy and was naturalized, for example, in the US, before your birth, then you cannot apply. The line is broken because your father got American citizenship before your birth. So you cannot say, okay, but my grandparents were Italian, so I can claim my Italian citizenship bypassing my father, so with a jump to my grandparents. No, you cannot jump to another generation. You need to file the application proving that each generation on the bloodline are uninterrupted, so the right of citizenship is uninterrupted. So that's important. If there is an interruption, that's it, game over, you cannot apply. Then we have Donna from Los Angeles. Is Italian citizenship by descent the same thing as Italian citizenship Jure Sanguinis? Yes, it's the same thing. Sometimes you read Italian citizenship by descent, sometimes you read online Italian citizenship Jure Sanguinis. Is the same thing for the same process. The terms is different because the Jure Sanguinis refers to the Latin expression that means that right of blood. The Italian law is very focused also on Latin. There are a lot of Latin terms into the Italian law, so it's the same thing. Then we have Robert from Orlando. How long does it take to get Italian dual citizenship by descent? Well, the processing time is pretty different and it depends on several factors. For example, first of all, if you apply through an Italian consulate, you have to be lucky to have an appointment date. So here the processing time is depending when you will have your appointment. You can wait 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, who knows? So it really depends. After that, by the law, as soon as you file the application, the consulate has to process your case in maximum 2 years. If you file through the court because of lack of appointments at the consulate, for example, well, the processing time is right now pretty faster. On average, now we are filming at the end of August, between 6 months to 12 months. Of course, it depends on several factors, like when it takes for the court to register your case, then for assign the judge, and of course the judge agenda. So the judge will set the hearing date depending on his agenda or her agenda. So this is something that we cannot predict in advance. But I mean, more or less, also consider that it takes time to prepare all the documentation. Please, keep in mind that it won't take for sure less than 1 year, for sure. Then we have Greg from West Virginia. How long does it take to get Italian dual citizenship by marriage? Processing time right now with the current law that was amended 2 years ago is maximum 2 years. So from the moment you file the application, the ministry has maximum 2 years to decide your case. So you need to expect a notification, approval, or denial in maximum 2 years. Anthony from Canada. What documents do I need for Italian citizenship? General question, because it really depends on which path. If you are talking about Italian citizenship by marriage, you basically need all the documentation proving your marriage, your criminal background check, police certificate, and maybe the most important one, to get a B1 language test. You need to accomplish a language test for demonstrating that you, know a little bit of Italian. The B1 is the minimum that you have to get. If you are going to apply for Italian citizenship by descent, well, you need all documents starting from your ancestor to you, or you and other applicants. There are other applicants proving your Italian heritage and that your Italian heritage is uninterrupted, is unbroken. So, the right to get citizenship by descent is unbroken. Then we have Melanie from Houston. What is the fastest way to get Italian citizenship? Well, there is no fastest way. So be aware if you find somebody that will promise you shortcuts or fastest way. There are no fastest way. The process is regulated by the law. There are some authorities involved, consulate, the ministry. So there are no fastest way. There are no fast track. Who is promising you fast track is lying to you and is making probably a fraud to you. Stephanie from Michigan. Can Americans hold dual citizenship? Well, yes. The fact that you gain Italian citizenship, we are talking about Italian dual citizenship, because you keep your original citizenship. Italy recognizes dual citizenship since 1992. The fact that you are gaining a new citizenship doesn't mean that you have to renew to your previous one. So we have plenty of clients that start to apply for Italian dual citizenship, but they also have multiple citizenships, like American citizenship, Canada citizenship, or Brazilian citizenship, and so on. So yes, you can have multiple citizenship, as many citizenship you want. Then the last question, this is from almost everybody. How much does it cost to get Italian dual citizenship? The costs are different, and we have to, first of all, to distinguish between expenses and costs. The expenses are what you have to pay for just getting a document or for a tax that you have to pay. For example, when you file your application, you have to pay your consular fees, so a tax that you have to pay to the government. Or you have to collect your vital records documents and you have to send them for the apostille. You pay the Secretary of State, you pay a tax in the US for getting the apostille. So these are the expenses. So there is something additional to the cost. With the cost, we have all the legal costs, so our fees and the costs that we face during the process, like for example, the translations, for certified documents, to file the applications through the court, so the court fees, the court taxes. So these are different costs. We have different service levels, so what we suggest is contact us so we can provide a tailored estimation. We don't have hidden fees, extra fees that we will ask you, so you know since the beginning how much you will pay for the entire services. There are really a lot of other questions that we want to share with you, but for the moment we want to share these first ones, and for sure we will do another video with other common questions, frequently asked questions that we receive on the application for Italian dual citizenship. So stay in touch, follow us. This is important because you will be updated to the latest news. Feel free to comment below if you have a question or something you want to ask. We are always happy to interact with you and to reply to you as best as possible. And of course, you can contact us through our website. Here you see the link also in the description, so you can contact us for also have a consultation with us for a free eligibility check, the application for Italian citizenship by 𝙤𝙤𝙀. So do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you again and see you on the next video.